It's the 1st of January 2021.
Okay.
Have you, I think I've adjusted well with the 2021. I don't know if it's because I was looking forward to 2020 going so quickly.
Well, I feel it's another day. I mean, somehow in my heart, I feel new. I don't know if it's because I had kept certain things in my heart, like in my mind, and I decided that, okay, after this while, I'm not going to do this anymore. So there's a sense of newness that I feel.
Okay.
But it's just another day for me. I just need to sleep a lot today.
Have you done the resolution kind of thing? You know, that self-talk?
I have, but it's not like resolution. It's more like prayer points.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like these are like, you know, plans, like things that I want to do, things that I want to see, things that I believe that, you know, the Spirit of God wants me to do, stuff like that.
Okay, that's better. I think so.
You should try it.
So what I said to myself this year, I'm not going to say, oh, and I want to achieve this, and I want to achieve this, I want to achieve this.
Yeah.
Why don't I just simply say, Lord, lead me? You know?
Yeah, but you have to have something in your hand.
Yeah. So I'm saying, this thing that I am looking forward to, just lead me. Just show me how.
How.
And
exactly.
yeah. So because I don't want it to be like, oh, and I plan to do this, and I plan to do this, and I plan to do this. I want to see how he does it with me.
He will.
Yeah.
He will. Except that, you know, in cases like that, then you also have to be very sensitive, because sometimes there is a little bit of a friction between the things that we desire, the things that we want, the things that we think work for us, and what God actually wants. And that's for those of us who believe in God. If you don't believe in God, that's fine. Whatever it is that you believe in, dwell on it. But I would recommend it to you. I'd recommend what I believe in to you. I believe in God, and I believe that when we leave the rest of the things that we ought to do, I mean, as human beings, He's giving us wisdom to do the things that we should do. We do our part and we leave the rest to Him. But when you're doing it together with Him, you know what I mean, then it works perfectly that way. Newspaper review?
Yeah. Online review, Gifty, because papers are still holiday. They're back tomorrow, by the way, because tomorrow is officially the start of the working day after the holiday. So we will do myjoyonline.com as we've been doing this week, really, and then we'll touch base with other portals. So My Joy Online, Gifty?
Ghana Judicial Service clarifies decision to transfer 2 High Court judges. The last time I spoke to Judge Lowe, who is a lawyer and also a member of the NDC Voter Caucus, he indicated that there is a worrying trend where judges are being transferred. I don't know if that has anything to do with this particular story.
It has everything to do with it.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, so when there, and this is how it's looked like over the period, when there are stories involving politicians or involving, you know, people within the party, the governing party, you get, issues of jurisdiction coming up. I think that's the trend that we've seen. Issues of jurisdiction come up, and then the people will write to another court and say that these people don't have jurisdiction. So you say it has something to do with it. Do you have details?
So it has, yes. So I've just opened the story up, which is on myjoyonline.com. There's a statement attached to it by the Judicial Service, signed by its secretary, essentially dealing with the transfer of some judges. And people have made the assumption that the judges are to help with certain cases that will eventually appear before them. So here's what is on myjoyonline.com. The Ghana Judicial Service has issued a press release debunking ill and improper motives imputed to the Chief Justice's legitimate exercise of administrative powers in reassigning 2 High Court judges. And according to the service, these erroneous assumptions have been ascribed to the Chief Justice for transferring Justice Charles A. Wilson from the High Court in Tamale and Justice Douglas Esiedu to Bolgatanga. So the Chief Justice, by a letter dated 10 December 2020, transferred Justice Charles Wilson from the High Court Tamale, where there are 3 High Court judges currently, to the High Court Bolgatanga, which has 2 High Courts but only 1 judge. Justice Wilson's transfer was to take effect from the 6th of January 2021, when the Christmas vacation would have ended, and was directed to start work on 11 January 2021 until his release to return to Tamale, which is his station. The Chief Justice exercised his administrative powers to transfer Justice Wilson to address a pressing administration challenge undermining the efficient delivery of justice in the region. The executive of the Ghana Bar Association is aware of this pressing administration challenge. In the case of Justice Douglas Seidu, his posting to Bolgatanga upon his appointment was curtailed because of his previous practice as a lawyer in that town. It is this situation that necessitated Justice Wilson's transfer to Bolgatanga to fill the vacuum until such a time that a permanent replacement is made. As of now, no warrant whatsoever has been issued to Justice Seidu to sit in Tamale from his station at Sinyai. Again, it is to be noted that the Chief Justice has administrative powers to issue warrants to judges to sit and determine on any day urgent matters that have been placed before the court. It is therefore regrettable that the implementation of these measures intended to promote the smooth administration of justice has been misconstrued by some sections of the media. This is signed by Judicial Secretary Justice Cynthia Pamela Addo.
Okay, so those are details for you from that particular story. One of our top stories at on myjoyonline.com. Let's go back to that portal, take a look at the other stories that are there. So yeah, that's the big story there. You can take your time and look at it again. But yeah, let's go down, take a look at, as it happened, Ghanaians hold religious events to cross over into 2021. It's been custom. It's something that we've done. I mean, I remember being in my church, growing up in my church, Tema, Bethel Methodist Church in Tema, Community 8. Like, I've done 31st since, like, I can remember.
Forever.
Yeah, it was only last night that I couldn't, you know, I kind of did an online...
Should we bet again? It wasn't just last night.
Oh, it was just last night. It was just
Can we put 200 on it this time?
Oh, please.
Then I'll owe you 150 if I want.
I'm still waiting for the 50. Still on myjoyonline.com, errors in Mohammed's petition won't affect our case. Eduji Tamaklo is saying that now if you look at the petition, there's a part where Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president, has been addressed as the first respondent, and then again at a point he's addressed as the second respondent. And I think there's a little bit of an error there as well, but Eduji Tamaklo is saying that I mean, that won't affect the case at all. We've had lawyers also say that these are, you know, not really big deals at all. It happens and you'll be allowed to write, you know, the correct thing with a pen and then you can move on. Election petition against EC Akufo-Addo will strengthen Ghana's democracy. That's Muntaka Mubarak, the minority chief whip in Parliament there. You've had all kinds of justification for why they for the NDC's, John Mahama's presence in court over the election results. Well, away from that, still on the election petition, nothing stops Akufo-Addo from being sworn in, Samson Ladi Anyenene. And that is part of the reliefs being sought by Mr. Mahama. He's saying that he's asking the court to prevent the swearing in of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as president of the country for the next term. Also, full text, NPP's response to Mahama's petition at Supreme Court. Okay, so there's a full text. So the NPP has a response to the... Oh,
so this is I think this is the statement that Yabuabia Samwa signed yesterday, yes.
Okay, well, the other story is NPP constituency chairman for Fomina resigns. Oh, wow. That's an interesting one. Mama, is that a story you want to read?
Yes. That's a story that I have even read.
Oh, okay.
But let me share.
Let's click on that story. Take a look at what the details are. So the constituency chairman for Fomina has resigned. You know the issues that have come up in Fomina.
Exactly.
Where a parliamentary candidate, you know, decided to go independent and actually won and has now become the cornerstone in Parliament. Okay, Mama, there you go.
So this gentleman's name is Akwesi Asamoah, and he's told the party essentially that he's bowing out. Why? He says he arrived at this decision having considered advice from medical professionals for him to take leave of active politics. And he says, I have therefore arrived at the decision, having served our dear party in various roles and capacities since 1992, and he states the various roles that he's occupied, it is time to take a bow and allow others to serve the party. But he also says that even though he's resigning, he will serve the party in or capacity, whatever opportunity that is given him. But what is interesting really is what I heard before this resignation. I mean, I didn't see the resignation with the medical reasons coming up. The independent candidate, we're told, well, I mean, I heard from certain places that the constituency chairman was a major part of his decision to go independent. Not to even contest in the primaries in the first place because of some things that had happened on the ground. So this was, and I think the party got recommendations from this chairman, so-called. I mean, if what I heard is true, really. And so the party acted based on what the chairman and the constituency executives had informed them.
I see.
And I guess they've come to the realization that they didn't see the picture that clear, with this MP now winning. You know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if that's actually true,
yes, ma'am.
It's like, be careful. For the people you meet on your way up are the same people you meet on your way down. There's a proper way of a proper phrase of putting that proverb together, but don't worry, you find it somehow. Election petition, we will expose the emptiness of Mahama's petition. That's the NPP saying, and social media reacts to Mahama's petition at the Supreme Court. We've got a lot of things on the myjoyonline.com page, including the COVID-19 figures so far. I mean, so it means that this week, if I'm not mistaken, 2 more people have died, because the last time I spoke to Dr. Adacosta Abuaji, he said we had 333. Today, the figure I'm looking at there says 335. 335. I'm trying to look for the
I think we've recorded
cases.
851 new cases. This was 31st December.
Oh, wow. So, well, COVID is still out there. So that's it for myjoyonline.com. If you scroll down, we have our YouTube page there. Our YouTube page has, a lot of our shows from here. You can follow us on demand from there.
We go to Graphic.
Yes,
Graphic Online. The same story that's on our page, MyJoyOnline, is here. Judicial Service explains transfer of 2 High Court judges. And here's the UN Secretary General's 2021 New Year message. But the World Health Organization, and hopefully we'll share when we get to the BBC, has now backed the vaccine. They've given backing to the what's the first one that came?
Well,
when we
Pfizer.
get there, Pfizer, exactly.
Wow. Isn't that the more expensive one, and the one that doesn't that's not really compatible with climate here in Africa? I think that's the one. Anyway,
so Mahama must retract insightful statement to supporters. That's according to the NPP. Sami Jemfi, MPP's claim on Mahama's votes indicts election 2020 credibility. Also, government has not increased import duties. Yesterday, you had that conversation, Gefty, where the Director General of the Ghana Standards Authority, Graphic, has got that story. Contract for Accra Tema motorway expansion signed. Former MPP chairman resigns after medical advice to quit politics, which I still find rather very interesting. And then Anita Kikigbeho, Ghanaian appointed deputy special rep for UNSOM. Marita Biu appear upon lead NDC spokesperson for election petition. And then Gifty was just talking about the cases that we've recorded and the deaths. Ghana records 851 new cases between December 8 and 27. And this was reported yesterday. Ghanaian arrested in Italy for murder of famed Ethiopian woman. Gifty, yesterday you shared a bit of this story, and then it turns out that there is a Ghanaian allegedly involved.
Maybe can we take a look at that story? Maybe I know the Ghanaian. Who knows?
I hope that after they investigate it and the Ghanaian comes out.
All right, we're trying to pull up that story for you to take a look at it. Ghanaian arrested in Italy for murder of framed Ethiopian woman. Looks like this is the Ethiopian woman. The international media reporting the arrest in Italy of a Ghanaian, Adam Suleimani, for allegedly murdering her employer, Agitu Gudeta, the Ethiopian refugee hailed as a symbol of integration in Italy. Daily Mail reports that the suspect, 32, who worked in Gudeta's goat farm, has confessed to the crime. Oh my God! Following a dispute over outstanding wage. That is terrible news. The report also claimed Gudeta was raped while she lay dying after being hit with a blunt object. Until her death, Agitu Ideo Gudeta would have turned 43 on New Year's Day. Was famous for her established cheese business, which she has started with a handful of alpine goats she tended on her farm in the northern region of Italian Trentino. She fled Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa, in 2010 after her participation in protests against land grabbing and angered local authorities, reports the BBC, which also said that she made Italy her home and made goat cheese and beauty products on her farm on previously abandoned land in Trentino. Al Jazeera says Gudeta had made her home in the mountains of Trentino's valley. Okay, it goes on and on to talk about her, but it looks like this is a very, very, very sad story. Reuters has also reported, her story. Now, this is not like, just anybody. This is someone who seems to have been very active in Ethiopian politics, moved away, went to live in Italy and built up business, essentially. And this guy has apparently confessed. That's a very sad story. May her soul rest in peace. She would have turned 43 today. So today would have been her birthday. Yeah, according to the story. Anyway, Assad Mala buried. And I want the same thing that Addo wanted in 2020. All right, these are like old stories. December 30.
From the statement.
All right. So we move on to City. Hand over to you, Mama.
MPP to maintain Chairman Sabonso as leader in Parliament after marking to be deputy. And I want us to open the story because there are some interesting names in leadership if this turns out to be true, really. Apart from Osei Chairman Bonso, kindly go up so we can get to the meat of it. And then after marking, because, we've had his current deputy. No, it's Adjo Asafo as in deputy majority leader. Okay. So it means that would change, even though she won her seat. Okay, so it also says, according to City News sources, changes are also expected in the remaining areas of the MPP's parliamentary leadership. So Chief Whip slot has been earmarked for Frank Anodompre, the Nsawama Adrejuri MP. It's currently held by Kwesi Amea Treme, the Sunyani East MP. And then his deputy will be the Tolan MP, Habib Idrisu, and the Mfansiman MP. This will be Ophelia Hayford. This is like a first timer and in holding this position. That would be interesting if this actually turns out.
I mean, if you look at her profile, she's been a police officer for a long time. She's lived with this man who is her husband for a long time. I'm sure that she's probably been, and she's probably somehow understood the politics.
But Parliament is a different ballgame altogether. Even those who have spent 2 terms are still
but you always
learning.
Have to give people the opportunity, give people the chance to prove themselves.
But leadership with new faces, that would be interesting.
It will be interesting, but I'm excited for her. I think it's a good opportunity for her to prove herself that that there's something in her beyond being the wife of the member of parliament who was killed. That you can show everybody, and everybody was saying, it's why has it become, why are we always going on this trend? Of course, for the politicians, there are sympathy votes to be won. So you give it, and we know how Ghanaians, we treat the dead people. So they gave it to her. She's won. But people will say, well, you didn't really win it on merit because it was your husband's position. You had the party's backing.
She was desperate.
Yes.
They needed to win the seat.
Exactly. Yeah, it was essentially like no option. You had the party's backing and you won. But now it's her chance, her real chance to take up this opportunity, if she gets it, to prove that I am here on merits, that I can do it.
I have my doubts with these new names, though. I mean,
these are names.
She whipped.
You think they just threw it in there somewhere to somehow to make it sound interesting or to neutralize the chat?
Well, I'm looking at. Well, I mean, that's just my mind. So maybe I shouldn't share it Hey,
Don't worry. Don't worry.
I don't want to start any. I don't want to start controversies.
If you share,
it's too early in the year.
I will neutralize it for you.
It's too early in the year. You know, like a whip, eh? It's just as it sounds.
Yeah, you need to put people in line.
Exactly.
And get people to vote according to the party's ideologies, and get people to just essentially fall in line. I'm
perhaps looking for somebody who's spent quite a bit of time in Parliament, and also somebody who's maybe older, so that, you know. But hey,
you can. I always believe in alternatives. There are ways you can do things. You can go the hard way, but you can also go the soft but firm way and get it done. So you can have a woman who has been a police officer, like I said again, who is able to come in and say, yeah, I mean, I can go the soft way, and I can still get the people to, you know, win the hearts of the people to support the party's cause in Parliament. So, but we'll see. I mean, how many days? 6 days? We'll get to know.
I can't wait.
We'll get to know.
All right, so government has not increased import duties, ignore contrary claims. Gifty, your story is trending. We will use every legal means to secure majority in Parliament, says chairman of the
I can't wait for all that to end as well in 6 days. Thank you, Lord.
Police must probe election-related violence without fear or favor.
True, but can they?
And we're not even getting the updates. We don't know where they are with it.
Yeah, it's a debate.
And then, of course,
I think they can. They can. But will they? Because at the end of the day, we all know how the service, you know, leadership of the service is appointed by the political party.
Let me ask it in another way. Are they?
I think they can. I think they can.
Are they doing it?
Well, they said they are. So we can only believe that they are. So as to whether how the structure, you know, and how the system has worked over the years gives us any hope is a part that becomes a bone of contention.
That's why I would appreciate it. I absolutely love the fact that the IGP came out. He gave us the numbers. He told us, I think at the time, that 5 persons had died and about 7 were injured. I was expecting, it's been a while. I was like, I'm still expecting, and I'm still hopeful.
Yeah, there's a lot of politics
going on around it. So come back, say this week and give us an update. That would be beautiful. Then we would know that. Because right now, Gifty, you are the head of the security desk. Tell me, if you call them, do they answer these questions?
If they don't have the answers, they won't give you. And you have to go through the mouthpieces of the police administration. But they have to get the information from their bosses. The Oga at the top has to push the information down. If they don't have the information, they can't give it to you.
My appeal is still to the election task force. This is, I think, your job.
Led by the IGP.
Led by the IGP. Thank you, Gifty. Please come back and give us an update, just like you did the first time.
What I was going to say was more of an academic debate. The IGP, I was going to say the IGP is appointed by the appointing authority is the government. The government is made up of a political party. The political party is at the moment at the center of a controversy between them and the opposition. So you see, it's a very complicated cycle. But like I'm saying, that's an academic debate that we can have.
It's not, Gifty. I think it's our reality, seriously.
Yeah.
Because I had not thought about it that way. But now that you say it, except that I still think that we have to live about those things.
But I mean, technically, yes.
You're an election task force. Something has happened. Exactly. You gave us the briefing. You told us you were investigating. It's been a while. So come back and tell us what you've discovered. Have you arrested people? Are you prosecuting? When would you go to the courts? Give us something. Are you going to do an inquiry? The people on the ground. Are you picking pieces of evidence from them? You know, that kind of thing.
Technically, that's how it's supposed to be. But that's why I said what I'm saying is more of an academic argument, which we can have. It is a reality, but it is an academic argument. Because we need to, unless we change our constitution, this cycle will continue. And as for changing the constitution, anybody who benefits from a particular system and sits at the top of that system isn't going to change jack. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but we hope they do. Okay, BBC.
Yeah, and with this we have to be wrapping up. So new era for UK as a complete separation from EU. But I thought we will get there's something this is the BBC, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, Brexit is a big story until coronavirus came. But it's interesting how they've gone through it. They sort of, found a deal between the UK and the EU. So I'm happy for the UK. The coming years will help us understand whether Brexit was a good idea after all.
I want us to go back to how the world, welcome 2021.
Oh, 2020 there.
Yeah, 2021. How 2021 is being celebrated around the world. So let's just, hopefully we can watch the video when it is ready. And then... Hey, Gitty, what is our tradition? What is our tradition?
Nationalism Park. I mean, we're starting from somewhere. We've got.
And Anata says our tradition is Tunte.
And Banja.
Workouts.
We call it Banja.
Yeah, but it's been.
I mean, this is our style. This is our style. We're proud of it. But you see, the thing is, we need a lot of power. We need a lot of electricity to power the lights.
Yeah.
But we've started somewhere. You see, the Nationalism Park thing in collaboration, I think, with EcoBank is going well. I mean, it looked cool when Agbagba.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we start from somewhere.
But even this 2021 is like a muted one. In France, for instance, there were police stationed at certain places to prevent people from coming out and celebrating.
But I see a little girl there. I think she's talking about her wishes in the BBC story that we just played, which is what we're going to do.
We'll do with the kids.
We didn't know they did it. They copied us.
We will come back and do the young kids. But if you're a parent, you're a guardian, you're a big sister, big brother, uncle, aunt watching, we're engaging the young ones. So if you want your child to be part of this engagement, we're essentially asking them about 2020 and then looking forward to 2021. And so you can take the meeting ID and the password after sports. We will come back and have that conversation.
I can't wait for that conversation.
There is an exclusive interview with Majid Ashimeru, who is a Ghanaian based outside, a Ghanaian international. And Oreku Ampofo engaged him. That is on right now.